Good morning, stamping friends. I'm Stampin' Dee Dee. I'm Deanna Blackman. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I just love what I do. I love getting new ideas and trying them out and sharing them with you, and that is exactly what is happening today. So, let's just get right into it. This is an idea that I got from LeeAnn Greff just recently on her website. Let's see, it's called Flower Bugs Ink Spot. And I give her all the credit for this. I literally cased her cards, her templates, but you know, I want you to know where this came from. You know, nothing I do is original. I wish I were that person that could create things and come up with ideas. Now, I can take an idea and reconstruct it and make it my own. I can do that, and I do that most of the time. This time, I wanted to try the process out, and I loved her idea. I loved the colors she used. I loved everything about it. So I cased hers for my samples. And this is taking a template, one template for the stamping, one template for the mat, and one template, well, and then just your regular card base. So you've got a template for the stamping, a template for the mat, and you use the same template for the mat to cut your inside pieces. But so it's with just a few pieces of cardstock. This is very vanilla. The one we're going to do together is basic white, and then I used peach pie for the mat on some of them. I used Timid Tiger for the mat on a couple, and I used Pretty Peacock. And then I used Cherry Cobbler and Pretty Peacock for my card bases. So, I did put ribbon on a couple of them. I'm running out of linen thread, so I couldn't add linen thread to the rest of these. And this is just that Pretty Peacock in gold, and I thought it looked good on it too. I used the same stamps on the inside, and this leaf stamp is from, what's it called, Party Celebration? Party Celebrations. And that set has leaves and pumpkins and I don't know, a Christmas ball and birthday things. It's just got a variety of things, and I really like that leaf. So that's the only leaf I used on this, and then the stem, came from one of my sets. I've got a ton of stems that I use, and I can't remember where this, let's see if I have where this stem came from. No, it's none of those. I put the stamp set away, I guess. Anyway, so we have, Stampin' Up! Has several fall collections out with leaves and acorns and fall trees, and so you'll want to be sure and check those out. Fall cards are just beautiful. The colors are beautiful, and they're lots of fun to work with. So these are the 5 cards that I made using this template. Now let me show you the template. You get 3 landscapes out of it and 2 portrait cards. So I'm just going to set those aside. Now here is the template for the stamps, and it's 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So you make your 4 3/4 cut, And then cut these 3 at 3.5, and you just have a little bit that's not used down here. And then over here, your width is 3.5, and so you cut these 2 at 4 3/4, and you have this much and this much not used. So very little waste. And these are the pieces that you stamp with. Your layers, your mats, are just a little bit larger. Instead of 4 3/4, which is 4 6/8, this is 4 7/8. And instead of 3.5, which is 3 4/8, this is 3 5/8. So you can see they're just the tiniest bit larger. You can make them even bigger if you want. You could make this 5 by 4, or 5 by 3 3/4. And that would give you a little more mat if you wanted to do that. And then you can use this. I used the stamp one for my inside because these are, no, I used the layers for the inside because they're a little bit bigger. So whichever you choose to do. Now, the colors that we're going to work with today are going to be Pool Party, Basic White, and Flirty Flamingo, or Calypso Coral. Yeah, Calypso Coral. So we're going to use these 3 colors. I'm going to cut my stamping set first. And let me bring this over here. So I'm going to cut this at 4 3/4. So I'm going to bring it to 4 3/4 right here. I'll get this down here so you can see 4 3/4. And I'm going to make a cut all the way down, 4 3/4. And now I'm going to cut these at 3.5. And I'll have 3, these are my 3 landscape, 3.5, 3.5, and 3.5. Now you could do your stamping before you do the cutting. You could do that. I don't do that, but you could do that. Now this, what's left is your 3.5. So you want to, you're going to have to trim a little bit off this edge so that it's 3.5, and then your 4 3/4. You're going to have 2, 4 3/4. And these are your portrait cards. All right, I'm going to save that. Now, that's for my stamping. I'm going to go ahead and cut another white one with the layers cut, which is 4 7/8. So it's almost 5. 4 7/8. And this is for my inside. 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. 3 5/8. 3 5/8. And then 3 5/8. So these are for my, that's the inside for my landscape, and then this needs to be 3 5/8. So I've got it right, and it is exactly, let's see, 3 4/8, 3 5/8, 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to do 2 of these, 4 7/8, and I'll have this left, and these are my portraits. So that's for the inside. Now my base, my card base is going to be Flirty Flamingo, and no, they're all going to be Flirty Flamingo. So that's 5 1/2. scored at 4 1/4. 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. That's 2 of them. That's 4 of them. 5 1/2. You know what I think I'll do for variety? 4 1/4. Whoops, I don't want to cut it. So that's 3 of them. I think I'm going to get a Cajun Craze because that's the other color that I'm using. Let me grab that and do a couple more card bases out of the Cajun Craze. Just a variety here. And score it at 4 1/4. Number 4, and here's number 5. By the way, if you're watching this live, just say hello so I know that you're there. I love to know who's watching. And if you're watching this replay, thank you for doing that. I love to hear from you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. All right, so what we've done is so far we have cut our stamp layers. And here it is again, and I'm happy to send you this template. If you will just email me, I'll be glad to send it to you. This is the template. We did the stamping, and we did these to stamp with, right here and right here. And then we took our layers and we went ahead and did the inside with our layers because it's a little bit bigger and that gives us a little more space inside. Now I'm going to take the layers and I'm going to make my mats, and I'm going to do that with Pool Party and with Flirty Flamingo. All right. So I only want to do 2 with Flirty Flamingo because I have 3 card bases with Flirty Flamingo. 3 card bases and 2 with Cajun Craze. So the 2 with Cajun Craze, I'm going to mat with Flirty Flamingo. And so this is already cut. Let me make sure. 5 1/2. Yep. By 4 and 4 1/4 is the. Oh no, this is not that. This is the layers. I'm cutting my layers. So this needs to be 4 7/8. 4 7/8. So I can't use this. I have to use, I'm sitting here thinking, why did that not work? Now, here's 4 7/8. And this is my Flirty Flamingo. 4 7/8 for my layers. By 3 5/8. There's one layer. 2 layers. But I only want 2. All right. So these are extra pieces. 2 layers with Flirty Flamingo and 3 layers with Pool Party. So that is 4 7/8. You could do all your layers in one color if it's confusing, but I wanted 2 different colors for my layers. So I'm going to put them right there. All right, that was 4 7/8, and this is 3 5/8. 1, 2, and this one we'll cut a little bit off, just the tiniest little bit. All right, we have our 5 layers. We have our 5 card bases. And we have our inside right here, our inside. And we have our stamping fronts. So, once again, we did the layers with, and this is, of course, not true to, not true to size, but there's our layers, our mats, and then our stamping is going to go right on it. All right, and then here is our stamping, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So once again, oh, I think I just scooted them. No, they're right there. So here we go. This is what we're going to stamp on. Right here. There we go. So you can see how the template works. 1 sheet of cardstock for the stamping. 1 sheet for the layers. And then if you want the inside, use the layers again. All right. So now we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to move this over here. So I decided this time I would go with some flowers. And I used a variety of flowers and stems, just different pieces. Yeah, there's that one. So I've got all of these that I'm going to use. And I have 2 different sentiments that I'm going to use. I'm going to use Happy Birthday. And I'm going to use Thinking of You. So I'm going to put my sentiments on first. So this is these are my 3 landscape. And I'm going to use basic black for my sentiments. Hi, Kay. How are you doing? Thank you for being on. All right. My first sentiment. Now, these are the my mind is, these are the landscape. So I'm going to put my sentiment right here. Thinking of you. And I think I'll do 3 thinking of you. I've got my black ink right here. Do another thinking of you. That covers, thinking of you covers a variety of reasons why you might send out a card. If someone is sick, if someone's going through a hard time, if someone has experienced a death. All right, got that one cleaned up. And these are my 3 landscape cards. And here are my 2 portrait cards. And I'm going to put the Happy Birthday at the bottom. Sort of in the center. There we go. that stamp. Now we've got our sentiments done, and we're going to build our cards around the sentiment. So I'm going to start with the large flower. And I should be able to tell you where that's from. Let's see, is it from... I'm looking at my stamp sets. Dadgummit. Ah, these are them. Hold on. I think I may find it. No. Oh, well. Oh, wait. This. Here it is. It's Gallery Blooms. I'm using this one and this one from Gallery Blooms. And there's, there's so many different stamp sets you could use. We have so many flower sets out now. But I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. Calypso Coral. I think I keep saying Flirty Flamingo because I used Flirty Flamingo on another set of cards. And I'm going to put my mat, my foam mat, under it. Okay. Ink this up, and the first time I'm going to position it right up here, and I'm going to go up to the edge with it and off the edge a little bit. And then I'm going to stamp it again right here, but I'm only going to stamp part of it. There. And maybe a third time, maybe right here, coming down. Now, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to stamp off. It's going to create a whole different look. So I'm going to stamp off once. And I think I'll do it right here. Look at that. It looks like a background. And I might even put this one right there. There. All right, that's the big one. Here's a smaller flower. And I'm going to do it in, Cajun Praise. So I've got this small flower, and I'm just going to put it right here. Right there. And maybe right here. Maybe right there. And I'll stamp off once. Let me stamp off and put that right here. There. All right. And then I'm going to do a leaf, and I'm going to do that in Coastal Cabana. Yeah, I think I'm going to stamp off once and come right down here. You see that? And stamp off and come out right here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Now I've got to clean my stamp. And stamp off once. come right there. All right, and now we've got some, I'm going to put something right there. I think just the tip of this. Just the tip of it right there. Oh, yeah. And maybe one more time. Maybe right here. Just the tip of it. You know, I think that, although I do think I need to put something right in here. So I put my gems in there. Maybe I'll put the tip right down here too, just to even that out. There we go. It's kind of framed. All right, so we've got that one done. And I think what I'll do is not do another portrait, but let's do a landscape now. So again, I'm going to start with Calypso Coral with the big one. And I'm going to put one right here in the corner. And again, I'm going to put one right here. And I think I'll do this would be a stamped off one right there. Let's see how it goes. Now I'll do this flower and I'm going to clean it. Okay. And I think I'm going to do it in Calypso Coral too. I'm going to put it right here. And right here. And maybe stamp it off and put it coming out here. And stamp it off and have it here. All right, we're going to fill in. Now, I do have this flower, and I'm going to do it in Cajun Craze. And put one right here, right there. And I'm going to put one down here, coming up like this. And I think I'll stamp one off and put it right here. All right, now I'm going to do my leaves in Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to try without stamping off. Okay. And I want a leaf coming in right here. And maybe right here. I like that. I need a little more. Whoops. I think this was Calypso Coral. You know, you just kind of have to go with it and see where it takes you. Okay. And maybe a stamped off one right here in the background. All right. I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to do one more, and we'll try a little different. Go back to Calypso Coral, and I'm going to put it here. And here. And down here. I see you can just do it so many different ways. All right, and then I'll come in with this one, and I'm going to do it in the Cajun Craze. I think I'm going to stamp it off. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, I think it's dark enough stamped off. Right there. Stamp it off and come down here. And then I'm going to switch over to this flower. And I'm going to do it in Cajun Craze. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah. And I'm going to put it right here. And right here. And maybe right here just a little bit. All right, then we're going to go to our Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to stamp it off. Stamp it off. And one more. How about right there? All right. Didn't quite get that in, did I? Let me see if I can get over it and get it in. Whoops. Sorry about that. No, not very well. That's okay. All right. So I've done what I'm going to do. I do have two more. No, I have one more landscape and one more birthday. So I'm not going to do those for sake of time. We're going to go ahead and put this card together. Oh, but before I close up, I want to do my inside. So I'm going to set these aside for just a minute, and I'm going to grab my inside basic white. And for the two portraits, I am going to, I think I'll just do this at the bottom. I think that's beautiful. And I think that's all it needs. So I'll do that one. And that one. So that's my two portraits. And now my landscapes. Let's see. I may do this. And maybe some Coastal Cabana. How about that? That'll work. 1, 2. Maybe on this one I'll do this flower. Whoops, I think I need to clean it though. I think I used Coastal Cabana, but I'm going to use Calypso Coral. do just a little different on each one of the inside, and then the Coastal Cabana. And maybe another leaf right down here. Yeah. Okay. And what I haven't used, I'll use this one again. I really like it. I love this stamp. I think it's so pretty. And I can do some Coastal Cabana there at the bottom. Yeah, that's all it needs. That's plenty, plenty. Now, and if you were going to do your envelopes, you would want to do the same thing with those. And that's what I did with these. I think I did them all the same. Made it simple. But we're not going to take the time to do that because you know what you want to do. I'll have to do mine later. All right, and so now we're ready to mat. And I've got 2 mats in Calypso Coral. I should have 3. Just a minute. I've got 3 pool parties and 2 Calypso Corals. All right, here we go. Get my silicone mat out here to help me get this going. Okay. Boy, I just barely. I'm not sure I did. Oh, these may have been the inside ones. I may have stamped those wrong, which is fine, except I need to make this one a little bit smaller. Four and 3/4 by 3.5. Yeah, you know what I did? I kept my, I got my inside and my stamping piece mixed up. Should have done them the same size because it's not that much difference, but it's enough difference that, yeah, it matters for the mat. All right, now I'm going to be able to get a little bit of an edge. They were the same size. That wasn't going to work. There we go. And that is going to be on Cajun Craze. These cards are easy to make. And I just think they're so pretty. That's for the inside. What am I doing? What am I doing? Where is my... Where did I get mixed up? No wonder it was smaller. All right. I'm putting the inside piece. I did have it right. Okay. I'm not going to do one that's... I'm going to do one that is already done. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to go ahead and put this one down because it's got glue on it. Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. Yeah, I had it right. I was just trying to put the inside piece on the outside with no sentiment. That should have been my first clue, was no sentiment. There we go. And then the inside for that would be that piece that I just took off. And I cut it down, so it's going to be smaller, but that's okay. No harm done, except it's got a little piece of cardstock right there that's going to show if I don't get it off. You know, I have never claimed that I don't mess up, because I mess up all the time. But you know what? It always turns out okay. All right. Yep. Here's put a little bit of glue right there. Probably the glue won't come out. With my luck, the glue won't come out. And I'll have to get a pen and poke it. Although I don't know why it wouldn't come out, because it poked just fine. There. All right. So here is our first card. And you can put embellishments. You see the gems that I put on there to show you how you can do a variety. Okay. Here we go. It should have been that easy the first time. If I hadn't tried to make the inside of the card be the outside. All right, and here we go with a portrait card. Fold it, burnish it. There we go. A happy birthday and a thinking of you with different mats. And then we do have the Calypso Coral that we're going to use as one of our insides as well. And it looks like it can be a, let me get this one done. At least give you an idea of thinking of you. Goes on the mat. The Calypso Coral mat. Whoa, I need to pull it in a little bit. And put it on that's on the Coastal Cabana mat and the Calypso Coral card front. All right. So we have different mats, different card fronts with the same pattern. And we have 2 more to go, but I'm not going to do those on. You get the idea. And let's see, did I put the inside in any of them? No. Let me put the inside in this one. Inside in it. There we go. And we have an inside for each of these as well. Let's see, this one goes, oh, that one's got the inside in it. So this one goes with this one. There we go. All right. That is it. That is using a template and using some stamps to create a scene around your sentiment, a border as such around your sentiment. Here's some of these. These are embellished. These are not embellished yet, but you get the idea. And I hope you'll go on and do that and make you a set of cards. You know, I thought, you know, I could use pumpkins. And if I'd had time, I would have done a sample with pumpkins. I think that would be pretty. Trees would be pretty. I thought even the silly safari would be pretty and would make a cute set of cards. So use your imagination. Use the stamps that you've got. Pick out some colors that will go together and make you a set of cards. And if you want this template, let me know and I will email it to you. And I'll have this on my blog, stampanddeedespot.blogspot.com, and I'll have it on there with the measurements. So go there and you'll find all the information. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate it so much. I get new subscribers every week, and I appreciate you. So thank you for watching. Please click like. That really helps if you just click like. And if you want someone else to see this video, then share it. Share it. Thank you. God bless. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.